وهدى ورحمة لقوم يؤمنون.
بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم. الحمد لله رب العالمين، والصلاة والسلام على أشرف المرسلين سيدنا مولانا محمد عليه وعلى آله أفضل الصلاة وأتم التسليم. We have been discussing stories from the Qur'an, trying to extract some beneficial lessons and trying to allow for the stories to be practical in our life and in our daily ongoing struggles and our challenges that may, subhanallah, present themselves to us from day to day. So my brother and sister, today inshallah we're going to be reading from Surah Al-Baqarah, and we're going to try to understand, the surah itself is known as the story of the cow. Why is it called the story of the cow? What is the story of the cow or the surah of the cow? What is the context? We're going to be talking about that today. But before I recite, inshallah, the ayat from Surah Al-Baqarah, I want you to imagine something. I want you to imagine you have your mom. Your mom is asking you, or your dad. Imagine you're a young man, young woman, and you're a little bit lazy. You're just sitting upstairs watching TV, or you're doing your homework, or you're just doing something, subhanallah. And your mom says, "Can you help me clean the dishes?" And then, subhanallah, you don't really want to do it, and you say, "Do I have to do it now? Can I do it in 5 minutes?" And the mom says, "No, I want it done now." And then you start asking questions, with the intention of avoiding the actual task. So you start saying, "Okay, how many dishes do you want me to wash? Do you want me to use this soap or that soap? Do you want me to hand wash it? Do you want me to also the forks? What about the spoon? What about?" So you start asking questions, subhanallah, hoping that you can make it difficult for your mother, or you're just trying to waste time, or you're trying to delay the time of execution. And so, subhanallah, these questions are not legitimate. The questions are not really necessary. Just wash the dishes. Okay, just wash the dishes, subhanallah. And if there are any clarifications that are required, your mom would obviously give it to you. But you're just trying to delay the time between receiving the command and actually executing the command. And this, subhanallah, I want you to keep that in mind when we're talking about the story of the cow and when we're reciting the ayat together.
أعوذ بالله من الشيطان الرجيم. بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم. وإذ قال موسى لقومه إن الله يأمركم أن تذبحوا بقرة قالوا أتتخذنا هزوا قال أعوذ بالله أن أكون من الجاهلين قالوا ادع لنا ربك يبين لنا ما هي قال إنه يقول إنها بقرة لا فارغ بكر عوان بين ذلك فافعلوا ما تؤمرون قالوا ادع لنا ربك يبين لنا ما لونها قال إنه يقول إنها بقرة صفراء فاقع لونها تسر الناظرين قالوا ادع لنا ربك يبين لنا ما هي إن البقرة شابه علينا وإنا إن شاء الله لمهتدون قال إنه يقول إنها بقرة لا ذلول تثير الأرض ولا تسقي الحرث مسلمة لا شية فيها قالوا الآن جئت بالحق فذبحوها وما كادوا يفعلون وإذ قتلتم نفسا فادارأتم فيها والله مخرج ما كنتم تكتمون فقلنا اضربوه ببعضها كذلك يحيي الله الموتى ويريكم آياته لعلكم تعقلون ثم قست قلوبكم من بعد ذلك فهي كالحجارة أو أشد قسوة وإن من الحجارة لما يتفجر منه الأنهار وإن منها لما يشقق فيخرج منه الماء وإن منها لما يهبط من خشية الله وما الله بغافل عما تعملون.
My brother, my sister, the story of the cow has two components to it. There's the story of the owner of the cow and the story of the person that commits a crime that the cow is going to be basically related to. And we'll start with both, but I want you to imagine the two are on two opposing sides of the spectrum. We can, subhanAllah, compare the two families or the two people. There's one young man, his father was very poor, and his mother, and he's an only son. And when his father, as he's passing away, his father told his son, this cow that I'm giving to you, that I own, is a very special cow. It was very special because it had a very bright and illuminating light color that was yellow, صفراء فاقع لونها. So it's very bright in color, very special, homogeneous, no little blemishes, no marks, just pure yellow color all over. And this, subhanAllah, was very rare. Even nowadays, imagining, subhanAllah, a color of a cow, like a light yellow color, is very rare. But it does exist, subhanAllah, in those shades, of course. And so, subhanAllah, this father is telling his son, do not sell that cow or do not give it up for anything until you've reached an old age. Wait until you're a little bit older and then do with it what you will, but wait and do not sell it during those times. And so he used to walk, this young boy, his father passed away, subhanAllah, this young man, his father passed away, but he honored his father's word. He honored his father's request, and he did not sell the cow. He would walk, and sometimes people would come to him and they would tell him, that's an amazing cow, it's very special. Can we buy it from you? Can we offer you anything? We'll offer you this, imagine 10,000 dinars or 15,000. Whatever he was offered, nothing. And he told them, even if you were to offer me the weight of the cow in gold, I would not perhaps consider it then. This, subhanAllah, goes to show you how committed he was to fulfilling his father's word, subhanAllah. Now, on the other side, there's another young man. There's another young man, he's in love with a young, beautiful woman. And he's also struggling financially. He's not ready yet. He doesn't have the resources to get married and to do it properly. And there's an uncle, his own uncle, he is a wealthy man, he's a set man from Banu Israel, and his uncle is actually the father of the girl that he's interested in. And so what he decides to do, he says, you know what, I can't get married now with the uncle in the picture. He's not going to let it happen. But what I can do is I can kill him, and I would get his inheritance, and then use the money from his inheritance to marry, subhanAllah, his daughter, and that way I would not have to go through the long process of waiting and having to build myself. He wants to cut through, get through shortcuts, subhanAllah. So look at two opposite sides to the story. There's one man who's honoring his family's request, honoring his father's request, and there's a man who's plotting to kill with the intention of securing his own financial ambitions and securing his own relationship goals, subhanAllah. And this goes to show you, subhanAllah, from the same tribes of Banu Israel, we can see, the good and the not so good, or the good that is bringing himself closer to Allah, and another man who's not so good, subhanAllah. And of course, at the time, Banu Israel were divided into 12 different tribes, as Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala says. And Musa was trying to keep the tribes united. He was trying to keep the tribes all together. But there was still tension here and there, as we discussed, subhanAllah. Even sometimes within the city of Medina, there was tension, but not nowhere near as, subhanAllah, as difficult as the situation that was between the 12 tribes. And so the Prophet Muhammad, the Prophet Musa, he is eventually told, guess what happened? The tribes, one day, eventually a man just ends up showing dead in front of the door, or in front of the the gate to one of the places where one of the tribes resided. And this was not the best of news to hear for Musa. But what had happened was, the guy who's interested in the girl and interested in killing the uncle, he called him and told him, let's go together. He went to him and he told him, I need your help to go for some business plans, and I need you to come with me to secure, and I want you, because you're older and whatnot, I want you to come with me, so we're going to meet somebody in this other part of the town, and we're going to basically sit with them for a while, and that's all that I need. So the uncle agreed, yes, we'll go ahead. And then he took him at a very, very empty place, and then he killed his own uncle, and then he put the body in the, subhanAllah, in the vicinity of the part of the town that belonged to another tribe. And so after a while, he started screaming and saying, oh no, my uncle, he's dead. Somebody killed my uncle. Who killed my uncle? So imagine he's the one who killed him, but then he's blaming it on that tribe, because of course the body was again placed in that vicinity. And now the people don't know what to do. So they approach Musa alayhi salam and they tell him, we're in a bit of a tight situation. And back then, the urf, or the ruling was, or the law of Banu Israel, if somebody passed away and that person died in a land or in part of the town, then basically we would have to investigate and find who the killer was, or who the murderer was. And if the murderer was not found, then the town that the body was found in, or part of the town that the body was found in, or the tribe that was in charge of that part, they would have to basically collectively choose their best and the most wise men, and the most wise men would think together and come up with a possible solution, or they would have to offer ransom or blood money, or a pay for the damage that was incurred to the family. So imagine now the guy who actually killed the uncle, he's hoping to inherit the uncle's money, he's hoping to marry the uncle's daughter, and he's hoping to also get the money that the tribe would collect to pay for the damage that was caused. So look at, subhanAllah, how somebody can be so cruel to commit such a crime and expect so many benefits. And now when Musa hears this story, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala teaches Banu Israel a very important and a very valuable lesson. That is going to be the story of the cow. We will resume inshaAllah after the break. بارك الله فيكم والسلام عليكم ورحمة الله وبركاته.
لقد كان في قصصهم عبرة لأولي الألباب.